Welcome to Center Heist Productions. It is March 2nd, 2025. Please hit the likes and subscribe down in your right hand corner and tell your friends and family about it and share it. That would be muchly appreciated. And if you happen to come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes. It helps the channel grow, and I'd muchly appreciate your assistance as we've put in dedication into the channel, and we've been over 2 years now, and we've built an integral channel here, Habs channel, and we have some values that we stick to here. So anyway, we tend to, again, one of our things is sticking to avoiding gossip. I know there's tons of rumors out there right now as far as trade potentials, and I try to avoid them until the actual trade is made, because it's just there's so much speculation, and it's all about people are just trying to get a story. So let's go to last night's game. We're going to talk about and do that review, and we'll talk more. Okay, so Montreal was in Buffalo last night, and they got a 4-2 victory. Good game, very chippy game. You can tell these teams do not like each other. It was a very chippy game. First period, there was no score. Uh, Second period, 3-2 for Montreal. And then in the third, they topped it up with an empty netter, 2-on-1 pass from um, Dvorak over to Evans. So 4-2 was your final. Jakob Dobes got the start, and he got the win. And he looked he looked a little shaky in the beginning, but he settled down as the game went on. So he looked good. Uh, Lokinen was there for the Sabres. And actually, he put on a half decent performance. He looked better than his previous appearance with the Habs. Newhook got the winning goal. All right, let's talk about it. Okay, so here's the write up. The Montreal Canadiens extended their winning streak to a season high 4 games in a row. Can you imagine that? This is something. Big positive. 4-2 win against the Buffalo Sabres on Saturday night. Cole Caulfield, Josh Anderson, Alex Newhook each scored, and Jake Evans added an empty netter for the Montreal Canadiens. Jakob Dobes made 23 stops. Alex Tuck and Yuri Kulik scored, and Pekka Luukkonen made 25 saves. So this was very close in the shot department, right? So he had a couple more saves to make than Dobes. Sabres, who have, and now they've dropped 2 in a row. So that's good news for us. That's one team we're hope to pass for if we're trying to be in the mix and get a playoff push. Alex Newhook got the first star. I absolutely don't agree with that star. Sorry. He scored. That's great and dandy. He definitely wasn't the first star. Sorry. And this is where I get blown away with how they pick stars. Baffles the mind. Really baffles the mind, to tell you the truth. Um, don't get that one at all. Lane Hudson. So he got a goal, positive one. Second star was Lane Hudson, who I would have given it 2 assists plus one. I would have given him the first star easily over. Newhook shouldn't have been on there. I'm sorry. And Alex Tuck, he always plays a solid game. He got the third star, 1 goal, -1. However, I do think there were other players who had solid games that, again, should have been in Alex Newhook's position. Sorry, line 4 had a solid game, and I think Heineman easily, it should have been Hudson first star or Heineman. And I just found good to see that Evans was back into his normal self last night. So that entire fourth line played quite well. We had a great performance, and even Galley could have been one of the stars. But Newhook, he scores a goal, and this is how they value him. Because I'm sorry, this guy loses so many board battles. Sorry, and a lot of that lineup made that goal happen with him. So great that he scored. Proud of him. He had a half decent game, but he wasn't the first star. That's just pathetic, and that's what I have a problem with. Some of the picks choices that are made are just so out in left field, because Galley, Heineman, um, even Evans had a strong game. Dvorak had a solid game, and Anderson had a really solid game. So these guys easily could have been on the star end of it for forwards. And so I'm baffled with these picks. Anyway, so we go to scoring summary. First period, no score. Second period, we get a nice goal from Cole Caulfield in the spot of where Lane usually gets his goals on the power play, and it was assisted by Lane and Nick Suzuki on the power play. Good to see 1-13 in the second period. Of course, Alex Tuck, who had a really strong game for them, assisted by Bryson at 6:04. He would ruin the party for a bit. Then they went ahead 2-1. This was getting concerning. Kulik assisted by Dahlin had a strong game, and Paterka. And then we got the tying goal, beautiful goal by Josh Anderson coming into that, assisted by Dvorak and Lane Hudson. And then we get in at 1957, Newhook's goal, assisted by Hudson, or Matheson and Hudson. And like I say, all credit to him. Newhook had a better game than usual. He wasn't first star material. And then at 8:22, Jake Evans and Christian Dvorak assisted him on the empty netter. This was close, 29 shots to 25 for the Habs. Hits 28 to 27 for the Sabres. Faceoffs 39 to 28 for the Habs. 1 for 4 on the power play for the Habs. 0 for 2 for the Sabres. Good penalty killing for the Habs there. Penalty minutes 10 for the Habs. They were much more disciplined. 24 for the Sabres. Giveaways 27 to 20 for the Sabres. Takeaways 6-5 for the Habs, and block shots. Nice to see, and there was a lot of people throwing their bodies in front of shots for the Habs, 28-17. So that was a big difference. And we had some penalties. You had a tangle with uh, Jaden Struble, who took a total exception to some of the shenanigans that were going on in front of the net um, with. With the Sabres, right? So that was exactly, I think it was Beck, yes, Beck Malishka. I can't pronounce this guy's name. I'm not going to try it. So anyway, he did his job after the chief, but he tried to really go at Dobes after Dobes had the puck covered, and this was I seen this, the Sabres were doing this a lot last night. And so anyway, we get to the third period where we get a tangle up with Greenway and Jackeye roughing. Too bad the refs didn't let them get into it. It was a shame it didn't get into a fight. They were just more of a wrestling match on rolling on the ice. And Jaden Struble gets 2 minutes for roughing. He played a good, solid game. And that Greenaway was definitely making some noise for them. And Cousins, yeah, so Cousins and Jaden Struble were into it. So this was it was a solid game, nice game, very chippy. Yeah, I enjoyed the fight in Montreal. It was a good, solid team effort. Like I said, Dobish um, kind of looked shaky on a couple shots there in the beginning, but he settled right down and then he started making some very nice big saves for us and really holding us in. Because we kind of went sour there for a moment when Buffalo went ahead of us. I don't know what the issue was, but it's kind of like we've went into a little sleep. But we good thing was with the saves he made, we we rebounded and got our feet moving again, and that was good to see. So it was just a little um, lull into our game. Wasn't massive, but got to watch it because I don't want that to creep up. Those are the signs of when we start taking off the pedal. Thank God they picked it back up, which was good to see, and they showed the fight. But I did want to mention with the amount of plays that there were cheap shots on Dobish, several. Buffalo was making it a point to go at him. I think Montreal, when we get Buffalo on Monday night, needs to respond to that. And I honestly think that they got to make a point of this because, I mean, that play where Greenaway gives him a light cross check in the gut. Immediately, to me, somebody on Montreal should have responded. That was BS. And I think there needs to be a little bit of an answering for that. So I do hope there's a call out in the next game for Greenway, that he has to answer the bell to somebody, because the shenanigans with their goal, with them going after, they went after Dobes a lot, took a lot of cheap shots on him. And yes, we had Struble retaliate in some of those cases, which was nice to see. And he had a strong game. Our defense had a fairly strong game. Mike Matheson just, I know he gets the biggest, um, faces the best players on their opposition, no doubt about it. And that's where I think why there are mistakes made by him at times. A little concerning at moments. I liked our defensive game though overall. Um, Not bad, not bad at all. Quite happy with the way the boys played back there. Much better game. They did um, allow some openings in the slot area that I didn't like coverage wise, and around the net. They got to get a little cleaner and stay on their man a little better. Because on a couple of those goals, there was just nobody. Like Dope, that second goal, there was nobody close to the player when he scored. Who? Let's go back there. Uh, Wide open shot, pass across, and there wasn't a defenseman on the guy, and it was pretty pathetic. I didn't like that. So we got to watch stuff like that. A little better defensive coverage is going to be needed. Um, let's get back to seeing who scored that second goal. Do, 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 do. Yeah, the Kulik goal, and it was just cross ice pass, and defenseman's nobody on this guy. And he was wide open, and just made our. Unfortunately, Dobish had no prayer in hell of stopping that. But those are the lapses we got to stop. But anyway, again, great performance. Good job, Habs. We're in the fight. Good to see the fight in them. A lot of stories coming out that Habs players and the captain making comments that they don't want to see their teammates traded. They want to stay in the fight um, at trade deadline. They just don't want to break up the chemistry, and I totally get that. I don't really want to see, and I've said this all along, I really don't want to see Jake Evans and Armia gone. I hope they can somehow get through a contract talk. And with Savard, if you're not going to get a half decent pick out of that, he would be the ideal guy to just sign him to a 1 year, by year, and a small contract. Let him be the seventh defenseman, because he does so much good for the kids. Yes, he's massively slowed down, but he's just such a great veteran presence. So with that being said, and then it just kind of leaves Dvorak, and if you're going to make a trade, I guess that's the way you go. Although a lot of times I just think Dvorak doesn't get the credit, but you are going to have to open up some space eventually. Then we got the Kirby Doc thing. Like I said, I have so much concern for that, because I'm at the point where I definitely don't see him as a winger, or sorry, a center. I think that little, I think, I've said it all along over and over that I think the trade for Doc and Newhook, I think we're losing bit, but it hasn't panned out overall. Doc's just not been able to get back to himself since that knee injury last year with the ACL reconstruction. Uh, and to me, I think they got to end that project and bring somebody in. And love to see Cousins in there from Buffalo. Actually, if we could work a deal there, I think he'd be the perfect guy. And I'm sorry, Newhook's not long term answer for that. Newhook's a third or fourth liner. Let's make that clear. Yes, out of what we have right now, he's line two's working all right, and that's what the bottom dollar is. Make no mistakes, we lost on those two trades. Um, I mean, it was looking good with Kirby in the beginning, but once he took that knee injury last year, and he's come back, and now he's got a second injury to the knee. I think we got to give up on him. At least give up on him being a center. He's going to have to be a winner. and set the lines for there. But great job by the Habs. Going to be interesting to see. I'm expecting a lot of bad blood between these guys. I think we're in for a good game, and Montreal better be ready for it because a lot of cheap shots on the goaltender, and we need to send a message. It was just such a shame that we didn't get to see Jack Guy and Greenway go at it. Anyway, with that being said, and good job on the team effort. Good job, coaching staff, and go Habs go. Pretty pleased with that outcome, and let's hope we do the same. We got to not get cocky. All right. So with that said, you've seen it here, where the puck drops first, here at Center Heights, and we will catch you in the next episode, which will be the review of Game 2 with the Sabres. Let's hope we stay on our toes and send a message, a strong message for all the cheap shots on Dobes. That was just ridiculous. All right, thank you for watching. Hit the likes and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. God bless.